All right, first, we've got the attendance and TV ratings from our main man, Mike Mitchell. So week 2 average for UFL attendance was 16,222, a bump from week 1's average of 8,446. Of course, the UFL averaged after 2 weeks is 12,344. However, the first 2 weeks of the 20 were down 16% from last year after week 2. How did week 3 fare? Friday night's Birmingham Stallions home opener at Protective Stadium against the Arlington Renegades had an attendance figure of 10,126, surpassing last year's team high, 9,444. Now remember, those are not scanned tickets. Those are just tickets that are out there that people can use. Just keep that in mind. Birmingham's average attendance during the 2024 regular season last year was 10,255. Again, but that was also last year's system as well. So that is an improvement. That it looks pretty dang good. Again, but Birmingham should be crushing it. You're Birmingham Stallions. You're the top team in the league. How? Only 10,000. Saturday afternoon's Memphis Showboats home game against the Roughnecks. Simmons Bank Stadium, Ken Wisenhunt's final game as head coach. 4,753, slightly up from the 4,373, which was the lowest reported non-COVID crowd of the modern spring pro era. On Sunday's game, Michigan Panthers against the San Antonio Brahmas, Wade Phillips' potentially last game at Ford Field, 11,013. That is good. I've heard good things that Panthers are doing it. Their home opener last week at Ford Field had an attendance of 10,049, surpassing last year's team high of 9,444. So it seems like we've got some life, Michigan Panther fans. Thank you for joining us. That is really good. Sunday's week 3 finale between St. Louis Battlehawks and America's team, the DC Defenders, who won and are 3-0. Just want to point out, Cacaw Nation at America's Center had an average attendance of 29,345. Week 2's Battlehawk home opener had an average attendance of 30,000. Last season, St. Louis averaged 34,365 fans per game. So the week 3 average attendance, 13,976. That is up, according to Mike Mitchell, because you see it was 13,976. After 2 weeks, it was 12,334. So you see that was good. I'm sorry. Well, the week average attendance was 16,022 for the week prior to that. But, I mean, really, it's just Memphis just kills your average. That's why, do we shut Memphis down? We'll have to, that is to be a discussion a lot there in the future. But we'll see what happens there. So week TV ratings see steady progress on Fox and ABC. Now that people are kind of like, okay, like, wait, there's this football league out there. So TV ratings for week 3 of the season, the second year, of course, with the merger. Week 1's average across 4 UFL games was 559,000 viewers. Week 2 UFL rating average was 602,500 viewers. Would the league see more improvement with 3 of its 4 games on major broadcast networks? Probably. All right, Friday night, Renegades at Birmingham Stallions, 682,000 on Fox Friday night. I think they were getting like 2 million with the WWE, by the way. 0.17 on that 18 to 49 demo. The peak viewership Friday night's game was 856,000. Between 8:15 and 8:30 window. So basically when it started, and then, I mean, most people kind of stick around. They just have to maybe get used to it. This is the first year of it. The Saturday game, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN, 295,000 viewers. The ESPN numbers have not been that great. San Antonio Brahmas, Michigan Panthers on Sunday, 719,000 viewers on ABC. And then the 3 o'clock game, DC Defenders, America's team versus St. Louis Battlehawks at 3 p.m. ABC, 967,000 viewers. And I was worried because Rory McIlroy was making that run, and tons of people tuned in for that. Should we get Rory McIlroy to play golf on the field or something? Sunday's UFL Week 3 UFL finale on ABC between the Battlehawks and Defenders saw a peak viewership of 1.4 million viewers. Just think if Rory wasn't making that run, I mean, people still would have watched it. I mean, I tuned in as soon as the game was over because then they went into that overtime in golf. They averaged 967,000, makes it the most watched UFL game of the early season, which is great. That's what we want to see with the 1.4 million peak. I think a lot of those people probably tuned into golf too. So ESPN put that out there, and I think that is good for the league. So the overall ratings for the week, 665,000, which is up from last week, but the number is bogged down by the 295,000 showing on cable. It's worth noting that TNT's Sunday NHL doubleheader averaged 183,000 viewers. Like, just this kind of gives you an idea of what is out there. The UFL Broadcast Network average for week 3 is 789. That's more along lines of the modern day spring pro football leagues typically achieve in premium broadcasting window. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, TNT probably paid a boatload of money for the NHL, where the ESPN and Fox didn't have to pay anything for except for the league. So, that's just something to kind of keep in mind. In 2024, the UFL, including the league's championship games, averaged 945,000 viewers on Fox and ABC, with 6 games crossing that 1 million viewer mark. We'd love to see more 1 million things. Sunday's ABC UFL game had some stiff competition. The Clipper Warriors NBC regular season finale averaged 1.55 million on ESPN in an earlier window. Pistons Bucks averaged 797,000 viewers. The true mastery of sports audience this past weekend came from the Masters on CBS, which hit a 7-year high with nearly 13 million viewers. The UFL has all 4 of their games in week 4 on Broadcast Network, with Fox airing 3 of them. However, the games will be aired during Easter weekend against formidable competition from the NBA and NHL playoffs and WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see if they've gained some ground. We'll see there. I'll be at the game, at the DC Defenders game, as always. Excited about that. So let us know. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think of this week's TV ratings and attendance. And you can always go to the calendar on UFL News Hub to look at all. You've got them all. You got the data right there. You've got the score, the network, the spread, the over under, and you've got attendance and rating numbers galore. If you want to super nerd out, you can. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think about these ratings. This is good. I think we'll get decent ratings this weekend, but let me know what you think in the comments.